Hello, my 827 tribe. It is I, Alethea, and thank you so much for stopping by 827 Tarot. This channel was created to invite individuals to join me on the healing journey. I will be using my gifts to help navigate us to the destiny that we were meant to have. I also want to put out there that this is not about popcorn results. So if this channel is for you, I'm glad to have you. If it's not, then thank you for stopping by anyways. Today's topic is going to be about, speaking of popcorn results, how to navigate the who, what, when, where, how, and whys. How to fully trust in the universe, but ultimately how to fully trust in yourself. Now, the first reading, or the previous reading that I did today, was asking for us to move in our intentions and to reclaim our power. So we're going to continue on from that as though we've already claimed our power and that we've stepped into it, right? So we're human, so we're going to get those, oh my gosh, when is it gonna happen type, energy. Like we've been working so hard and we've been visualizing this particular thing for so long, and we're ready to see it come to fruition. So let's go ahead and get into it. God, thank you so much for this opportunity. What messages would you like to share with us to help us to understand how to move in regards of the unknown? Because that's all that it is. We're anxious about the unknown and we want to know everything that there is. So just in case we do fall victim to the lack of confidence on this, what messages do you have on how to navigate those moments? Because they're definitely going to come. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to pull the energy. That feels really heavy right there. Oh, they're all kind of heavy. Nope, it's right here. Okay. First card we have is Deep Inward Journey. You'll be rewarded for the work. And it says, how can you alchemize your fear? That's card number 29. Now for this, I think I will take a look at this card to kind of get an understanding here. Where are you at? Page number 20, or card number 29. So it says, one of our fundamental needs as a human being is to be deeply heard, acknowledged, and understood. But so many of us looks outside of ourselves to fulfill this need. We chase and we climb until we realize that there is no quick fixes that can heal what must be nurtured on the inside. You've drawn this card as a notice that your inner world needs tending to right now. The only way to truly understand your magnificence is to go magnificent is by going on an inward journey. I am so sorry. Anyways, it says you will be rewarded for this deep healing. On the other side of the work is pure self-compassion, joy, forgiveness, and ultimate inner peace. Your inner self consists of hidden feelings, memories, and thoughts and beliefs, prejudiceness, wounds and perspectives, shadows, and all mental and emotional conditions that influence your ability to transform and feel your complete wholeness at the core level. When you do the inner work, you move past fears, addictions, limitations, depression, loneliness, and low vibrational feelings of unworthiness. Although inner work is often the hardest thing that you will experience, it reaps tremendous rewards. Like a true alchemist, you are carving out a brave new path for your growth. Your future is paved with new, expansive beginnings as you heal your past. So, I'm not going to read all of this because it's a lot. But basically, I'm trying to see what the ultimate question is. Let me see here. Okay, so it says, so here are the questions to ask. And it says, what burdens and pain from my past need to be looked at and healed? How can I alchemize my fear? How can I use my voice to speak my truth into action? So what this to me is saying that the reason why a lot of us are very adamant about knowing every detail to the things that was once promised or is currently being promised to us is because there was an experience of the past where you felt that the ball was dropped. And I'm not feeling the vibe that it was dropped because it was a circumstance that could not be helped. I think it was intentionally dropped as a punishment to you. So you'll have to let me know if I was onto something. And this ball dropping when you needed this support, when you needed this, whatever this goal was that you were trying to accomplish. I just feel like you weren't heard. No one was trying to hear anything you said, and out of spite or prejudice per se, you were made to feel inadequate and that you just had to deal with the consequences of not being on this person's good side or not being eligible, just simply being who you are. It does suggest, if you like crystals, getting a rose quartz, because this right here, or you can get a bigger one, whatever, suits your fancy, but this is to help you to heal. Going back to my first reading of today, having that confidence, ultimately, that what is meant for you, no one can take away. You dreamt it, you have the ability to make it happen because the universe is mental. First and foremost, I think the best way to try to alchemize this fear is understanding that you most likely are reacting to the fear of the unknown. So there you're putting hypothetical situations in the mix, and you're breaking your own heart before the situation even happens. So when you start to feel like this, I think it is very important for you at that moment, hug yourself, go outside, ground yourself, take a walk, whatever you got to do, get yourself reset to where you need to be and call it out for what it is. I have heard this before and people think it's ridiculous, but I think that it's brilliant. Someone once said, Give your brain a name. And every time it starts to act up, like you can name it LaMonica. LaMonica Lachey, look, let me tell you something. I appreciate you, trying to call yourself looking out for me, but this is not real. This is make-believe. So girl, what is you doing? Why are you trying to get me all wrapped up over something that I know did not happen? You see what I'm saying? So I think that if you put a little oomph, a little spice into the way that you handle yourself, because you know yourself more than I know you. So if you are someone that likes to grasp onto dramatic things, then I think it's time to reverse that and be dramatic to your ego, to where it has no choice but to listen to the reasoning because it's going to be foreign to them, right? Or to it. The next card we have is Great Awakening. Walk in your truth. Stand firm in your light. How can you trust yourself more? I like how it's asking how you can trust yourself more. Not so much of how you can trust others. Because let's be real, as human beings, we're going to fumble. Sometimes it can be intentional, but sometimes it can legit be on an accident. And it can stem from anything. Maybe we didn't hear you properly, or maybe we didn't see where we was going before we bumped into you. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're human. So the goal is to understand the fact that we're human, but also understand that you are human too, because you're bound to make simple mistakes or even chaotic mistakes. It's in your nature. There is always two sides to every coin. While we have our light, like it's saying, stand firm in your light, sometimes we're in our shadow. And it's not to say that we need to destroy the shadow. Instead, what it is asking of you is at the moment that the shadow emerges, to listen to the shadow. How is it making you feel? And nurture that. Because that is saying that there's something that the shadow side is lacking, and it is needing some type of nourishment. You cannot trust yourself at this time, because I don't think that you've been in a position to where you felt that you could handle things on your own. You were put in a codependent connection where you, like family dynamic connection, whatever the case may be, where you were made to feel like you had to go through these people before something could get done. So what if you took it upon yourself to switch gears, create a plan, and execute it from your own doing? How can you trust yourself more? First and foremost, I think to do that, you're going to have to go within. You're going to have to go through the dark night of the soul. Realize that some of those things weren't your fault, if not all, and reclaim your power. So that you won't feel like, well, I don't feel comfortable trusting myself, but now I see that I can't trust anybody else because of these sad experiences, so I'm stuck. No, you're not. No, you're not. The next card says, and this is card number 32, it says, when peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. How can you see through the eyes of source, energy, and prioritize your inner peace? We have to be comfortable with walking away from things that no longer serve me, or serve us, excuse me. You do not have to take the nonsense that is presented to you. I don't care what rules are in front of you. In fact, I saw something on, I think it was Instagram, where they said that rules are nothing more than just suggestions. Like, yeah, you shouldn't do it, but we have people that shouldn't do a lot of stuff all the time. So honestly, that makes sense. It's a suggestion to choose whatever path to make your life easier or harder. Just like I think that there is no such thing as right or wrong. That too is man-made. When you think about animals, do you think that those animals take the time to think about, like, okay, let's think about a cheetah or a lion or something. Do you think that that lion or cheetah takes the time to realize that they ate a gazelle or maybe the child of a gazelle? You think that they take the time to go towards the parents of the baby and say, you know what, I realize that what I did was wrong? No, they do not. They keep it moving. And the only difference is that those laws or those rules was made to prevent uncomfortable things from happening. But through and through, you can't make anybody do what they don't want to do, right? So with that being said, the goal is to stand firm, walk in your truth, trust yourself more, and realize that you are the only person that you can trust. You are in yourself. You know exactly how you think. You know how you tick. So with that being said, if it's uncomfortable, move away from it. I actually had to tell my family, I choose me. I can't keep doing this. Don't call me because I'm not going to answer, because I need this time to figure myself out. Did it hurt their feelings? Of course it did. But that was because they was moving in the unknown. They had no idea why I would move this way. Some of them looked at it like, oh, she's just acting out. No, I was standing firm in my power because I got tired of being breadcrumbed and manipulated and then turned around and backstabbed, talked about like a dog for quote unquote doing the bare minimum when they was giving me the exact same thing that they was accusing me of doing. You see what I'm saying? Peace is a priority. And the best way for you to get the solid answers that you need is by removing yourself away from the noise. Take it upon yourself to listen to what the universe is trying to say to you without everybody all up in your ear. Okay? So again, when peace is your priority, you don't have time for the negativity. The moment that it starts to come up, you're like, you know what, I ain't got time for this. I'll just talk to you on another day, because this is bringing my energy down. If you can't figure out what you need to do, then I suggest you figure it out. I don't know why you coming to me for it, because I can't do nothing for you. Of course, this woman is letting her dog poop in my yard. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I had to tell her, like, will you please get your dogs? Anyways. So the overall energy, it says you heal by releasing, not suppressing. What emotions do you need to feel? So all of this is circling. This is the reasons why you feel like you have to know everything right then and there. It's because of the traumas that you've experienced. And so we're learning to go with the flow, like the previous reading said, to flow like water, to understand that circumstances are going to happen, the ones that we can control and the things that we cannot control. But the things that we cannot control, we just accept it with grace, understanding, hey, there was a lesson possibly attached to this, or maybe it's not a no, but maybe it's a right, not right now. You know, try not to take the universe or the world personally, especially the world, because if you look at the world is a hot mess. We know this. As empaths, we see it every single day. But yet we strive to try to see things through the light, or not through the lies, but through the eyes of God. But I will say, when we are in our mentality of lack, we try to see things through the lies of the world. Your goal is to be in the world, but not of it. Okay? How they move has nothing to do with you. So, the way that people navigate to get said desire may not be, or actually it is not the way that you're supposed to do it. Some people have a hidden agenda. Somebody has to try to steal, kill, and destroy before they can get said thing. You don't know. All you see is that they're whipping around here with this big old cheesy smile on their face because they're, boasting about what they have. You don't know how they got that. It may have came to them in a very shisty manner. Great things take time. But before you can even open your mouth to asking for things, you first and foremost need to understand that the things that you are wanting, you wholeheartedly deserve. And regardless of how long it's going to take, it does not matter, because divine intervention, divine timing is going to happen at the time it was supposed to, not your time. So let's go ahead and tap into the reading to see why. God wanted us to focus on this. Okay, God, thank you so much for that message. We've been coddled by the wrong caretakers. We've been babysat by someone that had no clue on what the heck they were doing themselves. They're in survival mode just like we are. The only difference is that you're taking it upon yourself to figure out how to break this cycle. They're still going to be stuck. The only thing that you can do is hope that one day they will get out that cycle, because you see how rough it's been for you. I'm trying to figure out which one it is. Okay. Okay, so we have the Wanderer, also known as the Fool card. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, 9 plus 12 is 11. Yes. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is the Justice card in the tarot. So this reminds me, or basically it's saying that there is a need for balance here. Kendrick Lamar, I know y'all be like, why do you keep bringing up Kendrick Lamar? For those that don't know, Kendrick Lamar is brilliant. a very spiritual lyricist, and his music has helped me to heal. But he has a song called Carnation, or maybe it's Reincarnation, but one of the two. But he had made a statement that the longer that the word fear is not used or acknowledged, it no longer exists. It loses its power when we decide to erase the concept of fear. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. If you balance this out, and then you've got the 0, because the 0 is a clean slate. It's new beginnings, a new fresh start, taking a risk of some kind. And how I look at this, she's free. There is no limitations to anything. A ballerina on her tippy toes on the edge of this crystal. Kind of reminds me of a carnelian. I don't know exactly what this is, but what I do know is that she's taking a risk to choose herself, to do the thing, to move like the world is not watching. Sometimes the best way to alchemize your fear is by doing it anyways. Joyce Myers said, sometimes it's best when you have fear, do it anyways. Because if you believe in Satan, then you're showing Satan that he has no power over you. But most importantly, you are showing yourself that the nightmares that you are creating for yourself does not exist the moment that you step into that power and you take that risk. You have this urge to take this risk to prove your fears wrong about you. And to prove you wrong about the circumstances, and not just the circumstances, but also how you view the universe. You think that the universe is trying to set you up because you don't see proof. But little did you know that the proof is buried in the soil. A good, strong tree will bear prosperous fruits. But if you have a tree that is rooted in pessimism and doubt, then the fruit is going to be bitter. Do you catch my drift? Everything that you say is a prayer of positivity or damnation. That's why they say that the power of the tongue is powerful. You can slice your own dreams right before your eyes into non-existence. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. Next card we have Justice. That's so funny. Here it is. Card 11, Justice. How can you trust yourself more? I think it's time for you to write a list of all of the dreams and passions that you have within yourself. And then I want you to write in another column all of your self-limiting beliefs. And really take the time to study those self-limiting beliefs. And then on the next column, ask yourself, how do you know this? Has this happened to you before? Has someone told you? I mean, it don't matter what they say, but was there concrete evidence that proved to you that this said thing that you don't think is going to happen, is there proof that it can't happen? And what I mean by that is like you have absolutely no method at all of making this work. It's like the moment that you breathe, no. Have you experienced that? Somebody actually said that to you? No? Then you need to mark that as something that is ridiculous that came from fear. And every time you mark a mindset, thought, you sit back and you think about that. Like you were playing yourself for, oh goodness. You were playing yourself for a fool. This encourages you to be foolhardy, being childlike, being a child with wonder and imagination and dreams. But if you was to allow your fears to talk and hold you back, you would become a fool by circumstance and fear. You would regret not taking that chance. And you damn sure don't want somebody else to have the same vision as you. And then you have to watch them achieve it. They could be just as scared as you, but they will still, you see what I'm saying, take that initiative. So I think that you need to balance that out. There needs to be a balance between your emotions and your intellect. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is if you pull away from the circumstances, the chaos of the world. That also includes, like, if you need to get off of social media and do a social media detox, or if you need to pull back from your family, or if you need to put your phone on do not disturb to let everybody know, like, I'm not in the mood to engage in gossip and, you know, draining energy nonsense. I choose me. Then this is when things are going to start setting the tone for you. God will be able to talk to you better. All right, so it says when peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. How can you see through the eyes of source energy and prioritize your inner peace? First and foremost, stop laying down at night, allowing your thoughts to run rampant. You go through series. You have a series of your own. Like, honestly, it needs to be on either on Netflix or HBO. Because these dramas that you be creating within yourself, I mean, jam-packed with angst, betrayal, toxic passion, high speed chases, you create it all. You're sitting here feeling hopeless and vulnerable to your thoughts. Like I said, give your brain a name. LaMonica Lachey, what are you doing? Why are you creating these scenarios? I don't even know who these people are, and you got me out here fighting this and this and this for what? Why are you bringing up my past? Why are you heightening the situation? That's not how I remember it. Why are you trying to create scenarios of things that I should have said? Obviously, I didn't say it. It wasn't meant for me to say for whatever reason. So why are you bringing this up now? You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to be in control of your peace. At this point, it's no one else. And I'm saying this as gently as I can, but I highly doubt anybody is losing sleep over you. I highly doubt any person, any company, whatever the case, I highly doubt they are losing sleep over you. But here you are creating scenarios and destroying yourself. That needs to change. Overall energy, we have the Ace of Cups. Okay, so To me, the Ace of Cups is giving yourself the cup that you've given to others. You've poured so much of yourself into others, and that is why it is hard for you to accept that sometimes things don't work out the way that it is. You've given too much of yourself to individuals that may not have deserved it at all. You have people-pleasing tendencies. It's time for you to start pleasing you. If you're going to bend over backwards for anything, then I want you to bend over backwards for yourself. Give yourself a chance. Cut off the subscription of today's drama and focus solely on you. Because see, what's interesting, I don't know what type of leaf this is, but you've been pouring your cup and you made sure that that water was pristine. The purest form of love that you could give, and then sometimes when you get a cup back, you got an octopus in it. You see what I'm saying? There needs to be I can't say that word. Reciprocity. And how I look at this, like I said, you've been giving your cup to everybody except for yourself. And it's not so much that, I'm not saying that you're not feeling the pain of the lack of give and take or reciprocity, but it is your soul that is hurt that you've never thought once to give it to yourself. Your inner child watched you bend over backwards for these people that the moment that you leave the house, they talk mad crap about you. You have to think about that. Some people prey on your weakness. Going back to my bully, talking about her in my previous reading, when I called her out for being a bully, because I bumped into her yesterday. And she said, I wasn't bullying you. I was just trying to teach you how to stand up for yourself. Now, when I think about that, yes, she's right. I should have known how to stand up for myself at that time. But little did she know that I grew up not understanding how to stand up for myself. I didn't have the opportunity to stand up for anything. Because it started with my parents. My parents dismantled everything that I could ever have within myself. And all she was doing was punching that soft spot over and over and over. Well, I've gotten stronger from that. It no longer hurts. I had to go through a lot of healing to understand that I was not the problem. Sometimes people just be doing stuff just to do it because it speaks to their character, whatever they got going on. And when she was so quick to try to defend herself, or try to gaslight me rather, I honestly think that might have been her father that was looking at me when I was talking about this. And at first he tried to chime in and was like, oh, she bullies me too. I was like, no, she bullied me. I mean, she made my life a living hell. But, you know, every time she tried to say something, I looked dead at him. And I just said no. And I kept shaking my head no. And then until she gave up and was like, okay, I apologize. I apologize. And she gave me a hug. Because she couldn't get around it. But in some circumstances, people like to eat off of you because they know that you do not have any self-love for yourself, that you would just let them run all over you. And unfortunately, that is a tough pill to swallow. In this circumstance, even though, yes, you've been hurt, you have to take accountability for allowing these individuals to continue to fester in your memories. You might have been helpless at that time, and karma will deal with them if they haven't already. But to continue to walk in your grown man, grown woman era and still say, you picked on me and I can't be I can't be myself because of you. For me, I gave myself a pat on the back because I was able to look her dead in her face and tell her. Because what started it was she was talking about a class reunion, and I told her I didn't go, and she's like, oh yeah, well, you was always the type of person that just kind of kept to yourself. I was like, yeah, and you bullied me for it. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like some people don't, she didn't understand why I was the way that I am, or was, should I say. But she didn't have to add on to it. So what I'm saying is, accept that the situation happened, but you're going to have to pick up those pieces and you're going to have to start fresh. You cannot allow them to dictate your future from here on out. I mean, you can if you want to, but it is highly advised that you move forward. Start fresh. A new, clean slate. Forgive when you're ready. And it doesn't mean like hold on to the pain and still let it defeat you. You need to at least understand, like, hey, or basically what I'm saying is you can still hold them accountable, but don't allow it to bleed through your progress on yourself. All right, so let's continue here. So then that way, when you do hear, oh, things are going to happen in divine timing, you'll be so comfortable appreciating the healing that you've gotten from the universe and from yourself. You'll be comfortable in knowing. Just like in relationships. If that doesn't work out, you're going to be okay with it. It was beautiful while it lasted. I'm going to go back. I'm going to heal myself from that situation. But I'm so comfortable and so in love with myself that I'm not going to rely on somebody else to dictate my happiness. When is it going to happen? Where is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? When you're ready for stuff to happen. We have the Seven of Pentacles right here. This is someone who is proud of the work that they have accomplished, smiling at the harvest of Pentacles. You're going to smile knowing that you've worked so hard to get to this point. Some people took it upon themselves to steal somebody else's bush of pentacles. Luckily and hopefully the person that they stole that from knows exactly the recipe to rebuild again. But what I'm saying is, you can't look at things at face value and assume just because they got this going on that was genuinely them. There is optical illusions around us. And it's time for you to exercise your discernment in the way that you move. And in the way that you perceive things. because the things that you see may be a lie. So anyways, yes, the Seven of Pentacles. And once he reaps that harvest, guess what? He's going to go right to the Eight of Pentacles and he's going to work on some more. Especially if he gets good feedback of people that appreciate what he's doing. This is also being comfortable with yourself and understanding that it doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of us are fearful because algorithm and society wants you to act as though things are flawless. That is not the case. Perfection only means completion. It does not mean flawlessness. I know it might be in the dictionary, but I do believe that the word complete would be in there too. This is someone that put a lot of their time into gardening, blood, sweat, and tears, weeding out pests. Think about the weather changes. For those that have started a garden, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It may not go the way that you want it to go first round, but the more that you're patient with yourself and the plants, your harvest is bound to be bountiful. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. Look at that. We skipped the Eight of Pentacles and came straight to the Nine of Pentacles. Trusting in the fact that you're going to be the one to create the success that is needed. It's going to start with you. The moment you trust yourself, and I love the fact that there is a little snail here, it's going to take time. It's going to take time to believe in yourself. Not because it's impossible, but because of the fact that you need to undo all the projections that was put on you. Test out your theory. Start with something small. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but McDonald's used to have this Earth Day project. Remember they had a little the little globe thing, and they gave you some seeds, and you was responsible for putting the dirt in it and everything. And then you created your own little plant. You know, like stuff like that. Find something small to test your ability. And watch with your own eyes, with the passion and the connection, or not the connection, but the passion that, well, yes, the connection that you have with this plant, or whatever the case may be. Start small. Trust yourself with something small. And then gradually make your way up. The more faith, and I really don't like to use the word faith, the more confidence that you have in yourself, because faith and confidence go hand in hand, the better. Okay? Oops, wrong one. There we go. We have the Hierophant. So this is talking about seeking higher wisdom. Or maybe going to an institution, not really, well, yeah, an institution or a church that suits your fancy, something that resonates with you. Maybe this is the start. Maybe you need to find a new church. It doesn't matter if you're really religious or if you're someone that, you know, practices another faith. As long as it aligns with who you are, I'm here for it. Okay? But also, I see this as learning discernment within yourself as you continue to talk to the universe. Get to know yourself in that aspect. Learn how to set boundaries on what you will and will not tolerate. Make yourself unattainable The way that we put God up there on that pedestal, God is unattainable to us. We always think outside. We think that he's all the way up in the sky when he lives dormant in here, in our hearts, our spirits. In here, in our minds. You see what I'm saying? You hold the key. You could talk to the universe about it. Let them teach you discernment. But you already have the keys. All right. And so let's see. The Two of Wands. This is talking about planning. What emotions do you need to feel? And so I feel like you need to experience that sense of indecisiveness with your creativity. Not knowing what to choose. It's time for you to take it upon yourself to experience going to yourself, because you are so used to going to someone else to think for you. Now it's time for you to sit with yourself and make plans on your own. Not plans, but plans of your own. This retrograde is, I think we're getting towards the end of it, and I cannot wait. But, yes, it's will you or won't you? Are you going to choose your future? Or are you going to sit back because of fear? Because I'm telling you, fear has no place. I'm commanding it to leave your energy field immediately. It has no place in your possessions. And it's time for you to take that initiative to tell it to go somewhere else. Start exploring. That's what this Two of Wands. Go out there and explore. This is part of the healing process too. Going somewhere other than your house. Maybe you need to go and take a trip. Go take a trip to nowhere. And enjoy the scenery. Be close to water. Gaze at the stars. Pay attention to the wildlife. Whatever you have to do, let the universe speak to you to help you to make said decisions. Okay? So, I'm going to pull one more, and then I think that we're going to end this reading. I kind of feel like I should pull more. Yeah, let me pull some more because I feel like it's not complete. Let's see, which one did I use? Okay, so that one. This is the This Might Hurt. We'll do the Marvin Witch Tarot. There we go. Okay. Okay. Yes, because I feel like this reading is incomplete. So let's see what else the universe wants to say. And that's another thing. You know, I was thinking about how in today's society, that popcorn result, that instant result of things, while you get what you think that you want, you also get a portion of it, not the full-fledged truth. Like, for example, if you're watching someone make this entree that you've been wanting to try, and you found someone that you thought would give you the rundown, they'll give you the rundown, but it's got to be within 10 seconds or even 15 seconds or maybe 15 minutes. They expect for you to know everything. And a lot of times they don't tell you the temperature. You don't get all of the ingredients, and they gatekeep some of that. Some of that you have to go on their website, and then you got to pay a certain amount of money to get this and this and this, when it could just be a basic ingredient. You see what I'm saying? Everything has a cost. And I say that because I was thinking about how I know that my readings are lengthy, but the reason why they are is because I want to give you the full substance that's going to feed the soul. I'm not going to give you anything half-assed. That's not fair for me to do that. Right? So I was just, yeah. Anyways, we have the Star card. I have to cover her up because she's in the nude. She's not reversed, but I have her in reverse because it's upside down. But anyways, so the best way to alchemize fear is by expressing your vulnerability to the universe, not to anybody else. Your time with God needs to be intimate. It needs to be between you and the universe. And if you want to include your spirit guides, if you want to include your guardian angels, your past loved ones, you want them part of the group, okay, cool. Just make sure that you invite everyone that has your highest interest involved, okay? But it's asking for you to be bare with the truth. Be honest. Even if you think that your needs are ridiculous, the universe can handle it. And I also believe that the universe can also decipher what you're saying without saying it. You may have a hard time articulating something, but God knows how to get to the root of that situation, and he'll move in the background just for you. So with that being said, you bear it all and you put the energy into yourself. Okay, because she's got her foot in this water while she's pouring onto the ground. Now, I have the Afterthoughts Tarot. And where's she at? Will I be able to find her in time? Probably not. But I like the card because she is fully immersed, or is submerged into the water, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to find her. Because she put so much effort and time and dedication into her wishes, and God was giving that right back. You see what I'm saying? There she is. Okay, hold on. Let me show you. Covering her up. Did you see that? So she goes from trying to cover her up too. So you see how she is. She's got her foot there, but on this aspect, that water overflowed, and now she's able to douse herself in her blessings and healing. God will help you to help yourself. If you have hope, somebody said that hope is for the weak. No, I want to say that hope, and I used to believe that. I've heard that before, and I was like, that's true. No. Hope is for the beginning. A beginner. The babe. Because that's how we start off. We have imaginations, right? And sometimes we take our imaginations a step further. As children, we pretended to be doctors. You know, we didn't pretend that we had to go to school for it. No, we were the doctors. So with that being said, you know how they say to fake it till you make it. If you continue to pour into yourself, pour into the universe, have that hope and desire for healing, you're definitely going to do so. You're going to immerse yourself in that. You're going to be able to wash yourself in the blessings of the universe and pour into yourself. Your cup is going to be so full that you will have to be in a lake or a pond, basically. Strength card. So with the Strength card, you will have the ability to not take things personal. Okay? And on top of that, you will have the ability to remain soft. Soft is not a weakness. It is choosing boundaries and choosing yourself. I am not about to get angry over something that is temporary. You can be mad all you want to, but I choose my peace and I'm going to get on away from here. The Seven of Pentacles again, doubling down on that. Okay, if you continue to set those intentions with things, utilizing discernment, you know. Now, I believe that we can accomplish anything that we want. However, I do believe that there are not lessons, but levels to this. You know, give yourself grace to make mistakes. But eventually, your garden is going to blossom. It's going to take patience. It's going to take time. Setting boundaries, prioritizing, and a little bit of faith. Confidence. I just said that because of the Hierophant, but honestly I kind of despise the word faith. Not because of anything negative per se. The only negative thing that I had to say is that I feel like it's been used to bypass someone that is deeply hurt. Oh, just have faith. So that's why I try not to use that as much, as because I don't know how deep you are in your grief. I don't know how far you are in your healing. So I don't want to say anything that is going to rub you the wrong way. Okay? But yes, I think that this is also stating that, you know, your trust in the universe and towards yourself, you're going to be able to experience that peace, because you're going to learn that it comes from you. It's not going to come from any outside factor at all. It's a shocker for some, but it's the truth. And look, we've got the Ace of Cups again. So, again, when you are comfortable in your truth, when you have healed and understand that you are in control of your destiny and you can trust the universe to guide you, but also take it upon yourself to do the necessary inner work within yourself, your cup is going to overflow like nobody's business. And like I said, it's going to overflow so much that you are going to be in that pond pouring that love. I also see this as, once you get to that point to where you're in love with yourself and you are fully empowered with yourself, that you will be able to love others the way that they need to be loved. And it's not, and don't worry, it's not going to drain you. Because you're going to have such an unlimited amount. It's going to shock you. Now this feels complete. Have faith. Have confidence. Believe in yourself. Believe that the universe has your back. Believe that the things that you desire you can have and that you deserve them. I'm going to pull one card for you. And we're going to end this reading. All right, God, thank you so much for that reading. I really appreciate that. What message do you have to close out this reading? Woo, okay. Okay, so it's doubling down right here. Set clear boundaries. Okay? It says, empower yourself by setting limits, such as saying no to a request or socializing less. This kind of self-care creates more respectful and healthy relationships. When you do not allow people to have access to you just because, you see what I'm saying? You're teaching them how to respect you. And at first they might be a little hesitant because they ain't gonna know what to expect from you, especially during this change, this breakthrough. But that's good, because they can't have access to you and treat you the way that they have before. I also want to clear, or not clear, but I want to pull one from this too, because it was looking at me like, will you pull one for me? Sure I will. Sure I will. Okay, what's the message for the viewers right now? Aw, peace. And it says, find inner peace in moments of stillness. That's what we were just talking about. When you find moments of stillness, I do believe that the universe is going to explain to you the importance of why it's important for you to stop questioning when things are going to happen. Because you are the walking clock. I said all that to say that you are the divine timing. When you are ready for a situation to happen, and remember, it's going to start through you. There might be things that I'm overlooking spiritually, but I hope that your soul, by watching this video, will pick up what I'm putting down and translating it to you in a way that it will resonate. You have to first and foremost, and I'm talking to myself here too, again, understand that you deserve these things. Your desires belong to you for a reason. But ultimately, nobody is going to bless you with these things, because this is a dog-eat-dog world. Everybody is trying to, compete to get to their own version of paradise. So if you're in the way, excuse me, can you help me with this? They're going to push you out the way, or they're going to see that you're vulnerable and unsure, and they're going to try to take what you have. We don't want that. You have to look to yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to move in stillness. You have to set boundaries in order for anything to happen. So all those questions, who, what, when, where, how, why, I guess you just need to ask yourself. And with that, I really appreciate you for stopping by my channel. If this resonates, I would love to get a comment or a thumbs up. This will help me to get my channel out there. Subscribe, tell your friends about me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.